goal when I tell a story is to make JJ cry, but she's done that at least 3 times tonight, maybe 4.
It's a tidal wave of tears.
I'll try my best. So I like to think of life as a quilt, that we all have big pieces and the little scraps that we tie together to make something beautiful. I've had a lot of love and a lot of loss in my life. I remember meeting a really good friend when I was in high school that went to a different high school, and for some reason we did fashion shows together and spent time going out together and sometimes hanging out with boys together. And it was really different for me to have a friend from a different high school because most of my friends were from my high school. And I went away to college the first year and heard that she was sick. She'd done a lot of modeling, was doing a lot of tanning in tanning beds, and had been on the cover of Teen magazine, and got really, really sick and passed away from cancer. She was my age. I didn't know anyone my age who had died before, and it made me really, really sad. But I looked at the times we had together, the friendship we developed, and all the love that we shared, and talking about our hair and boys. At one point we double dated to a ball at the Naval Academy with these guys that we had met, one of which had gone to my high school, and it was just really, really fun. Fast forward to my grandfather, who was just a very kind and gentle man. He was a gentleman, he was sweet, he smoked a pipe. I could remember him sitting down with me and we would draw and do math puzzles. He was an engineer. And my grandfather got cancer and was very sick and passed away. And I loved him. Fast forward to my brother's 29th year. My brother had been estranged from my family. At one point he'd been homeless. He had some problems with drugs and alcohol, and he wasn't always around. But I loved him. He was my little brother, and he was funny, and he made me laugh, and he called me out on my shit all the time, and not many people had ever done that to me. And I got a call one night, in the middle of the night, after starting to spend time with him again, and I knew at that moment the phone call was bad. It was so, so bad. The ER called and said, "We have your brother here, and you need to come in." And I said, "Is everything okay?" And they said, "You need to come in." When I got there, long story, as short as it can be, I thought I was there because he had a head injury, but they mentioned oncology coming in, and I didn't know he had cancer. But when they looked at his head injury and did the CAT scan, they found out he had brain cancer. So I had all these things, all these incidents that felt like scraps. My friend from high school, my grandfather, my brother, that really tore me apart. They made little shreds of relationships that I thought were important to me, and they just kind of ripped me apart. And it would be really easy to be bitter and feel like those pieces just were so terrible. But instead of just looking at the scraps like in a quilt, I chose to look at the big pieces. How lucky was I to have a girlfriend that I could let my hair down with and be silly with in high school. A grandfather who cared so much about me that he would take the time to just sit and make little number puzzles with me. And a brother who had to humbly come to me in friendship after feeling so bad about what he felt like were mistakes in his life. And I was privileged enough to take care of him when he needed me the most. All these times I've loved and I've lost, and I didn't know what was expected. As an adult, I had a relationship that lasted over 20 years that recently ended. As a result of that relationship, there are 2 beautiful, amazing children who I love so much, not scraps, the big background fabric that means so much. Life is a journey of putting together the pieces of all the things we experience. You take something from here and something from there, and you put it all together. You sew it up to figure out what's next. There are times you need comfort, and you need to wrap a big quilt around you because life is too hard. And there are times you can give the quilt to someone else who needs comfort. But I've found that all these experiences, the love and the loss, have prepared me for even more, so that my heart can be bigger, can be fuller, to allow love in that I've never seen or experienced before. Because when you weave all those experiences together, you're able to enjoy the beauty of what is left when you paint a beautiful picture that not only can you share with yourself, but you can share with someone else. So loss is terrible. It is hard. But the love of all the things that you experience in your life that can mean so much to you are better than anything that you have to go through that's terrible. And I hope that all of you have the opportunity to be wrapped in wonderful scraps and fabrics that feel like a quilt, that warm you, and you can experience love too. Thank you.